All right, so this one is going to be number 26. If you want to put the date, it is 9/22. In fact, for yours, okay, I'm glad you brought that up, because you all didn't have a class, so we can call this 25/26. All the other classes had 25 yesterday, so just put 25/26 since you didn't have a class yesterday. And then here we go. So we're going to be dividing into decimals. Is 7 going to go into 37 perfectly? No. So this is where I know that I'm going to need to put a decimal. Now this particular assignment, it says keep dividing, listen carefully, keep dividing until you have either 8 digits in your quotient or you get a remainder of 0. That's why we're only going to do a few of these. Do not round your answers. And then the last digit, we're going to look in our answer code. So again, we're only going to do a few of these. I like to do these because it helps you learn when to put these zeros. So does 7 go into 3? No. So I'm going to put an O for no, because that tells me nothing else can go there. By the way, since there wasn't a decimal on the outside, this decimal can go straight up to the roof. And we're done with the decimal forever. Then, does 7 go into 37? How many times? 5. So I'm going to put a 5. And 5 times 7 is 35. Again, with division, it is daddy, mommy, sister, brother. It is divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. And then we go back to daddy and divide. So this one is just a good one to show that pattern over and over. Then we subtract, and then you have to bring down something. You have to keep going. What should I put here then? I have to put a 0. There's nothing else I can put. And then bring it down, brother bring down, and then we go back to daddy and divide. And so the only time we divide up on the top is at first when we get our first digit. Everything else is from our remainder. Does 7 go into 20? How many times? 2. Okay. So mommy multiply, we just daddy divided. 2 times 7 is 14. Sister subtract, which is what? Are you writing this down? Okay. Which is 6. We have to keep going until we have 8 digits. So what do we have to add? A 0, and bring it down, brother bring down. Then once we bring down brother, go back to daddy and divide. 7 into 60 is 7 times 8. 8. 8 times 7 is 56. Subtract. Bring down, what do I have to put? Another what? Another 0. Bring it down. And then I just brought down, so we go back to daddy and divide. 7 into 40 goes how many times? Without going over, 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 6 is 42. 5. So it's going to be 5. 5 times 7 is 35. So we mommy multiplied, sister subtract, brother bring down. 7 goes into 50 how many times? How about people? 7. 7 times 7 is 49. So we daddy divided. Mommy multiply. 7 times 7 is 49. Sister subtract. And brother bring down. What do I have to put? A 0. And then bring it down. And every time we bring down, we daddy divide. How many digits do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 6, 7, 8. I need 3 more. Okay. And then so daddy divide. 7 into 10 is 1. So notice you have to write tiny. 1 times 7 is 7. Sister subtract. We get 3. What do I need to put? Another 0. And bring it down. And then 7 goes into 30. How many times?
4 times.
4. That is correct. 4 times 7 is 28. Before we bring down another, let's count how many digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need one more, and then they said I could stop. So let's put one more, bring down. 7 goes into 20 how many times? 2. And 2 times 7 is 14. And I can stop. They said only carry it out 8 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, and it says, notice the last letter, the last number, and the last digit of the answer was a 2. So that gets the letter N. Okay. So again, it ended with 2, so the code is N. So where you see your problem number 1, you're going to put the letter N. In fact, we're probably only going to do 2 of these, and then we're going to flip it over to the other side. And again, it's just to show you how to add zeros. We're not even moving the decimal yet. So we're going to skip this one. On this one, I've already got it. I've already got a decimal on this one. So just move it straight to the roof, and we're done with the decimal. The decimal should not appear anywhere in your work at all. Then let's go ahead and start this one. 4 into 1. Does it go? O for no, so I make sure that I don't put another number there. 4 into 15 then? 3, yeah, it's going to be 3. And then we daddy divided, mommy multiplied. 3 times 4 is 12. Sister subtract, get a 3. Brother bring down, get a 9. Now we go back to daddy and divide. If that were a 40, it would go 10 times. So how many times does it go? I don't have 40. How many? 9. This is going to go 9 times. 9 times 4 is 36. Sister subtract. Brother bring down, but what do I have to put? What do I put? A 0. And then brother bring down, daddy divide. 4 goes into 30 how many times? 7. And then mommy multiply. 7 times 4 is 28. Sister subtract, get a 2. Brother bring down, what do I have to put? A 0. And 4 goes into 8, how many times? Oh, this goes perfectly. 5 times 4 is 20. So they said you go 8 times unless you get a remainder of 0. And we just got a remainder of 0. So we're done. So this one is the 5. And is there a 5 there? Yes, it's the letter E. So where you see a 3, you put the letter E. Okay. And girls and boys, we're not going to do any more of these. You can do them if you want and finish it out, but I'm not. We're going to flip it over now to these problems. So that just gave you an introduction again to division and the pattern, daddy, mommy, sister, brother, divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. But now we're actually going to do some of these. And I'm going to say if you're real neat, you probably could do these on the paper if you're neat. So let's go ahead and look at this one. Do I have a decimal on the outside?
No.
So what am I going to do with this decimal? Bring it straight up. And then let's just start dividing. Does 8 go into 2?
No.
O for no. Does 8 go into 28?
Yes.
How many times?
7.
8 go into 20. I said 28. 8 goes into 29 how many times? 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. Subtract. Get a 5. Bring down. And then once you bring down brother, daddy divide again. 8 goes into 58. 8 times 8 is 64. That's too much. 8 times 7 is 56. Yeah. So it's going to be 7. 7 times 8 is 56. Subtract. Now, bring down your 5 and divide again. How many times does 8 go into 25? It does go 3. All right, now you can stop because this side is a little different. They want you to round it to the nearest tenth. If they want you to round it to the nearest tenth, you have to keep dividing until you get to the 100th. Because here's the 100, that 3 is the 100th. I need to round it back to the 10th. So is this going to be closer to 3.7? You look at your neighbor, or 3.8? 3.7, because if that's a 5 or greater, you can round it up. So this answer is, and put your answer clearly, 3.7. And wherever you see a 3.7, here you cross it off, you cross off the letter. Okay. Are there any more? I don't see any more. I think that's it. Okay, so you cross it off. Then we'll do, let's do another one on, oh, let's do the number 5 on your paper. The number 5. So the number 5, again on your line paper, because we can't do, yes, sir?
On the back saying, like the number 3 in the 5 here and the 5.
This, your last digit is 5. So the code for that was E. You put it on the problem number. Because here they gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you have 8 problems. So it's the problem number. All right, so let's go back to this one. So on this one. Now, this is really important on this side. Who knows which of these numbers goes inside the little division house? The first guy always gets to go in the nice warm house first. Always, always, always. Even if it might look weird. And then the second guy, unfortunately, has to go out here. All right. So now you've got a chance to write a little bit bigger where you've got more room. Do I have a decimal on that 17?
No.
No. Well, it's here, but in other words, it's right by the door, and that's what we want. So what do I do with this decimal?
No.
Bring it straight up, and then we're going to start. Does 17 go into 3? O for no. Then we pick up the next two numbers. Does 17 go into 36? How many times? Twice. So 2 times 17 is 34. Now here's the 10th spot. What I would do right now, we have to round it to the 10th. So I'm going to go ahead and put like a little line right here. Because this is going to tell me where my real answer is going to stop after we get our 100th. So if you're rounding to the 10th, you need one more place. So we're almost done with this one. So 6 minus 4 is 2. Brother, bring down. What do we have to put? A 0 and bring down. How many times does 17 go into 20? Once. And we're done, people. Because now we're rounding it to the 10th. So is this going to be closer to 02 or 03? 02. So let's go ahead and put it right here. It is closer to 0.2. And again, find that answer. And it's right here. And are there any more? I don't see any more. And that's it. All right. This next spot, this next section, you have to round them to 100th. So if you're rounding to 100th, you have, or nearest cent, which is also 100th, you have to carry it out to the 1000th. One more place, so you have a number to round back to. So let's do some of these that are sideways and double digit, like the number 10. So the number 10, I'm going to put here. Which number gets to go inside the little division box? Which of these two numbers? Yeah, the first number. Always, always, always. He gets to go in the nice warm house for 6.96 divided by 15. What do I do with the decimal? Just bring it straight up. And then I'm going to move this so we can work it. Then, does 15 go into 4?
No.
O for no. Does 15 go into 46? How many times? People, you should know this. 15 and another 15 is 30. Another 15 is 45. It's going to go 3 times. So start memorizing that. 3 times 15 is 45. Sister subtract. Brother bring down. Every time we bring down, we daddy divide. And this should be easy. 15 into 19 is what? 1 time. Mommy multiply. 1 times 15 is 15. Sister subtract. Brother bring down. Oh, that's easy. 15, how many 15s in? It's going to be 3 again. 3 times 15. Gabriel, get it down. Sister subtract. Well, I'm at the 100th, but again, I'm going to draw a line here because I'm going to round back to here, but I need one more number. So this is 1. And then what do I need to put here? I need to put a 0. And I'm just about done. I don't need to keep going on and on and on. How many times does 15 go into 10? 0 times. So this is easy rounding. Is this going to be closer to 313 or 314? 313. So before I mark that down, make sure I didn't make any mistakes. It's right here. It's way down here. I'm going to cross that off. And, oh, that's this one. So put your answer right by it. And all of these for sure, they have to go on another sheet of paper. So on these, this next section, you're rounding to the nearest 1,000. So let's see, which one should we do? What is the cost of the? Let's do this number 15. All right, so the number 15, and let me be mindful of the time. I think we get out of here at 25. Oh, yeah. Okay, so here we go. Is what is the cost of each issue? What is the cost of each magazine? You can get a subscription where they mail you a magazine a month, and that's a lot of paperwork that I end up throwing away, but anyway, you can do that. Or you can go to Kroger and buy 1 magazine at a time. So do they want to know the cost for 42 issues? Do they want to know the cost for 42 magazines? No, I'm probably not multiplying. I can't add cost in magazines. I can't subtract cost in magazines. The only thing left is the cost for 1 magazine is dividing. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to do. A monthly subscription charges $38.50 for a 1-year subscription, which is 12 issues, 12 magazines, because there's 12 months in a year. What is the cost of each issue? Who knows what we would have to do? Divide. In fact, this sets it up for you. It's the wording in the question. Take the cost, divide it by the number of magazines. Cost divided by magazine. So again, cost is going to be first. So cost goes inside the house first. And the cost for the whole year is $38.50. Yeah, we're dividing it by what though? We're dividing by 12. So this is the cost for 12 magazines. When we divide, we'll get the cost for 1 magazine. And you are right. Move that decimal straight up. Does 12 go into 3? O for no. Does 12 go into 38? How many times? 3. 3 times 12 is 36. Sister subtract. Brother bring down a 5. And daddy we divide again. Oh, and by the way, this one, yeah, is the thousands. So I've got to go over 3 places and an extra one to be able to round. So How many 12s in 25? 2. So we daddy divided, mommy multiplied. 2 times 12 is 24. Sister subtract. Brother bring down. And then we must divide, even if it doesn't go in. Does 12 go into 10? Put an O for no. Now I'm going to tell you, it's kind of advanced, but if you get an O, it's the only time that you can bring down another brother. So normally I just bring down one at a time. Okay, and I brought this guy down. So I'm going to put another 0, and I'm going to bring it down. So it's the only time that I can bring 2. So this one actually was down here. So I'm going to bring down another 0. Okay, I know that 15 goes into 100 6 times. I've always memorized that. 6 times 15 is 90. So this must go in more times. I'm going to start with 8. And I'm just going to test it over here. Times 8. 8 times 2 is 16. I think that's going to work. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. I think that's going to work. So again, without going over. So it goes 8 times. 8 times that is 96. I'm almost there. I've got to round to the thousands, but I need one more place value to see how that's going to round. So 100 minus 96 is 4. You should not be borrowing at all. This should be all mental math right here. It takes me 4 to get to 100, so that difference is 4. Brother bring down, what do we need to put? Another 0, bring it down, and then daddy divide, and we're going to be done. So 12 into 40 goes how many times? 3. And I can actually stop. 3 times that is, I didn't really even need to do that because I just need to see what that number is. So is this going to be closer to 3208 or 3209? That's not big enough, so it has to stay the same. So it's going to be 32. Oh, in fact, on this one, okay, this one's a little different because it's money. So I really, to make it look like money, I actually need to round it right here because money is 2 places over. So is this going to be closer to 320 or 321? 321. And that's what they told me anyway. Round it to the nearest cent. And it's right up here. So that is going to be, and I think I'll do one more with you, which is another double digit. How do you like dividing by 2 digits? They're cool and groovy. Okay, and also because this one's set up different. So a number 13, who do you think goes inside the nice warm house first? Yeah, Top Gun. Top guy gets to go inside the cockpit first. Top guy. So 5.6 divided by 24. What am I going to do with that decimal? Move it up. And this one I'm rounding to the, again, thousands. Thousands is 3 places, but I've got to go 4 because I need a rounding number. So 24 into 5, O for no, it doesn't go in. Think of this as a quarter. How many quarters in 50 cents? We should know our money, people. How many quarters in 50 cents? 2. And so 2 times 24 is 48. You should not be carrying and borrowing on this. How much is it, 56 minus 48? Quick. It's going to be 8 because look at, watch carefully how I do it. I go 48 to 50 is 2, and then I've got to go 6 more. So 2 and 6 is 8. Very good. I have to keep going. What do I need to put? A 0. Brother bring down. Daddy divide. Think of a quarter. How many quarters in 80 cents? How many quarters? 3. Okay. So 24 times 3, like show your multiplication if you need to. That is 12, and that is going to be 7. So 3 times that is 72. Sister subtract, we get 8. And what do we still have to do? Brother bring down. And is this 3 again? I think it's going to start repeating. So actually this is good. So 3, we already know that it's 72, and it's going to keep on repeating. So we're just about done. I need to bring it out to this place. Who knows what this number is going to be? Because it's repeating. It's repeating. In fact, if I put a 0 here and brought it down, it's going to be 24, and that is 3 again. So we can stop. Is our final answer 233 or 234? 233. So put your answer here. And by the way, put a little bar, which means it keeps on repeating. So is that there? There it is right there. So cross out that T. It's the letters that are left is going to be the answer to what is used for astronaut sandwiches. Alrighty. Does that make sense, people? Can I let you go and fly? Yes? Okay, so you're going to finish these, rounding them to the 10th. You're going to finish these, rounding them to the 100th. You're going to finish these, rounding them to the thousands. And that is it for the day. I need to stop this.